So, you sent me this link to the API thing with Google, and I'm somewhat aware of it. I think we're going to hit a point where a lot of very, terrible decisions are going to get made. And the only way they're going to get rectified is by getting the right people, younger people, more well-informed people in positions of power. We can't have old people, making decisions about the internet. They have no clue what they're doing. So, these things happen. And it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Nobody ever wants to make big changes. Nobody ever feels like pushing for that until there's a squeeze. Oh, dude, remember, what was it? The CEO of Google got asked, how do ads appear on my iPhone or whatever? And the dude had to explain, and the Google guy was like, dude, this isn't even our phone. But the dude who was asking was like, I don't think you understand what I'm asking. Why is stuff able to be put on the iPhone? And he's, there's clearly a disconnect. They're so far behind, and they're so out of touch with technology that they can't even process the fact that they're wrong. That's not a place to be if you're in a position of power. If you're so out of it that you don't even realize that you are completely missing it, then you gotta go. You gotta get replaced by somebody who knows what they're doing. But these things happen. It's gonna take a while, though. I mean, that's just the way it comes down. Oh, yeah, here's some map stuff, but I can't go into the water yet. But yeah, there's no real solving this catastrophe that we're in right now, where we have basically, so many tech decisions and so much of our lives that can be good is being driven by people who have no clue what they're doing. Well, yeah, you would have to, yeah. I mean, but that unfortunately is not built into a lot of people who should never have been elected and put into place in the first place. But also, culturally, that sort of behavior was viewed as strength. I don't have to ask anybody. I know everything. And that sort of attitude and behavior was rewarded as confidence rather than arrogance and ignorance. So until that gets solved, here we are. Yeah, very, very fake it till you make it. But not more than that, though. Even after you make it, just continue to be an ignorant piece of garbage whose decisions are ruining everybody's lives. And it's a cultural thing now, and we have a system set up such that it's not easy to get rid of people who are like that. So, they remain in power. You get the impression that there isn't enough humility on the part of people responsible for legislation. It's not just that, and it's not just abuse of authority. It is literally that there is so much disconnect that they can't process that there's anything wrong. These are people who have never really had to do any work in their lives. No, it's not fake. It's not even fake until you make it, though. That's the thing. There's people who never had to do anything to get their lives in order. They never really had to put any honest. They never had to do any physical labor. They never had to worry about their education. They never had to worry about paying rent. It's effectively, I don't want to go too political, but it's ruling class. You know what I mean? I don't know if I want to kill the hatchling. Well. Hey, or up. But we have people whose lives are so far separated out from our own that you could just as easily introduce aliens into the mix, and there would be a similar disconnect. Well, no, I'm not saying that you reaching that point is you made it. There are people who their entire lives have basically been with very little struggle at all, and then they're put into a position of power on top of that. So there are people who don't have the experience at all to be able to empathize with the people that they have, that they're, that they make decisions for. Buckle hat. A jet black hat adorned with a golden buckle and a crimson feather. But I don't really need defense. Luck would be good, but I don't need defense. That's kind of, what I was saying before, though, is kind of why I'm looking forward to, like, younger people being put into positions of power who could at least... Well, that's pretty poor. I could at least empathize with, the positions of the people who were I read lore piece, did I? With the people that they're responsible for. Yeah, pretty much. Stuff like that, Swiss. I don't want to get too super political, so I'm trying not to name anything or get too specific. Political advice. Speaking of... Okay. Emperor Voltrellus. Or Terrellus. Have I been saying Trellis the entire time? I know I've only been an advisor to you for a couple of years, but I hope you'll hear me out on this recent issue of the so-called independence of Lakim. Your instinct will be to lash out in retribution against the Lakimi. After all, do prisoners get to declare independence from their jailers? Of course not. But that is all Philia is truly doing, making an empty statement. Independence means nothing within the walls of a prison. They may state such, but they still remain on Lakim while we control the only portal to and from it, the walls of the prison, if you will. Nonetheless, the population of Lakim has been growing, especially since your most recent security and justice decrees. While I don't believe the Lakimi to be a true threat, after all, those few with auras are weak on that world. Given enough impetus, they could organize an attempt to strike back against us. Any conflict, no matter how much in our favor, will result in some death, not to mention further unrest among our people. It is thus my recommendation that we allow the Lakimi to believe in their independence, and not to strike back against this more. Sincerely, Elena. You're making changes that seem to at least go forward. I don't know about backwards. Anyone turn cynical or turn the chat? Yeah. But, it is frustrating that, like, our lives in the internet, our technology could be way better if the right decisions were being made, and instead we're making objectively wrong decisions. Decisions that don't even benefit the people who are making them, you know what I mean? I mean, let alone the fact that there are decisions that are being made that benefit the people making them. Yeah, that's all. The Google thing is I'd be shocked. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be shocked anymore. I'd be very surprised if that was... Is it a one-way? I'd be very surprised if Google doesn't get that sorted. Oh man, did I miss a save? Wait a second, what's over here then? Did I just never take this way? Yeah. That's not even one way. It must have been Maybe I could only have opened it one way, but it doesn't close. It's not a valve, I guess you should say. Whimsical, fey creature that specializes in healing magic. Ooh. Sprite. Yeah. Okay. Well, assuming I had a bleeding healing, I'll totally be happy to have it. You know, I probably should, just in case things get crazy. I think Demon's already level 3, Mayaf is 7. Go grab Sprite. Because nothing refreshes like a cold glass of Sprite. Available wherever fine beverages are sold. Oh my god, they have a Twitch can? Oh, I gotta take a look at this. What is this? Drink purple, okay. I thought they had paired up with, like, Red Bull or something. I honestly find the bleed purple thing kind of creepy. Where are we going? It's an old emote. Maybe they had. Oh, here we go. Here's the place. Maybe, assuming there's not water or anything. Yeah, I skipped this. Or maybe I couldn't get in. No, I just skipped it. They may have. Oh, it's just. Oh man, I've been missing these. Ah, they could have. I'm just happy that there's a powdered flavor beverage with a bit of caffeine in it. I don't care who makes it. I mean, I've been drinking a lot of G Fuel, but I'm sure there are other plenty fine alternatives. I also wouldn't mind being sponsored by any of them too. I need to, like, especially once I'm like, once I lose enough weight to not be so ugly, I guess. So to the point where I can actually be on camera. I definitely want to. Wait a second, can I go through that? Why? Oh, I guess it always does. I didn't know that. Once I feel like I can be on camera again, and I don't lose so many viewers because of it. Let's just pull up the... Hey, Kunzer. Let's pull up the drawbridge? Hey, White. Yeah! Was it, run 5 miles a day. Oh, I can get under there if I really want to. It also means I can't get out.
You have returned.
Hey, thanks for the resub, Kunzer. 28 miles. Whoa, okay. You forget about these. We're gonna go up there and deal with these guys now. Dicks. I gotta... Hold on. There. Oh, I only have 2 modes. But no, yeah, I really need to choose something like that is basically pushing it as far as I can to lose some weight. Not that I need to be, like, sick about it or whatever. But, I definitely need... Let's go. What do we got here? I definitely need to... No, nothing absurdly. I'll eat fast food. Okay, before you keep going, I'm gonna just have to cut you off. Before we do the whole, like, breakdown all the... Hey, you've never ever tried to lose weight. You're not currently working on anything. You've never gone to the gym. You've never, adjusted your eating. I'm not gonna call it a diet because you're supposed to make it a lifestyle change. But before we go into that whole thing, I have it under control and I'm already losing weight. I just need to go further. So I'm not taking any advice, and in fact, if people push it, here we go, then I will react. Because I know everybody has, like, the second you mention, oh, I gotta take care of some stuff, everyone's like, have you tried this? Have you done this? You know, why don't you do this some more? Why don't you eat differently? Why don't you work out more, or choose this particular workout? And we're gonna min-max this to death, aren't we? You lost like 20 pounds to get on HRT, you see a dietitian. Means you're down like 30 to 40 over the past year. That's pretty good, especially considering that, that whole setup is going to be stressful to get moving to. For me, I just need to lose weight, because I'm fat. He's going to say you got fast food from your diet. Yeah, no, it helps. I mean, not only are there a lot of things you can stack to do to get improvements, but everybody has things that work better or worse for them.
But it's not as easy as you think.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. So remember how I've said this over and over again regarding the incredible accuracy of Jerpbot's randomizer, and it continues to hold true. Losing weight is not as easy as you think. And everybody's got something that works better or worse for them. I'm so glad I wrote this bot. It's so good. Pointy hat. It's not much better than... It's worse than what I have. But that's okay. Let me double check. Does it do anything? Nope. Not yet. Look into injections for your ankles so you can kick the pain stuff. I've never heard of that. Does it reduce swelling or something? Maybe it's like a longer term thing. I don't know. But yeah, obviously I gotta cut fast food a bit more. I've been lax because I'm busy. I haven't had a lot of time off of work. Well, not only am I working later hours at work lately, not only have I been getting into work earlier, but I've also, I've cut my streams a little bit. But I've been busy outside of work. More errands, more miscellaneous stuff. Steroid spot injection. Oh wow, that's crazy. I hope it works out. Because if you can get something that requires like very little and cheaper intervention. So that was one of the quests that we had earlier to kill some of these guys. But if you can get like a low effort solution to that lasts longer, that's kind of like what I'm doing with the allergy shots. Except for the allergy shots are literally dosing myself with my allergies. But yeah, I didn't mean to come down on you so hard, Oceans. It can get very frustrating with the amount of advice that I get when I've already got the solution on its way, and I know what to do, and it just comes down to finding the time and energy to continue. And sometimes I do better or worse, but I'm always making progress, especially... So the surgery that I got recently was to make that easier, because my body is literally trying to kill itself in the middle of the night every time I go to bed. And now I finally got that mostly resolved. Where I have breathing issues, and they're not just weight related either. I don't even know how I can get down here. my nose and throat are just, you know, we're in a terrible position. Deviated septum, overly narrow nostrils, and getting the tonsils removed helped a good bit too. You need to strengthen those ankle muscles, otherwise you're gonna have nasty tendonitis. Yeah, I've been doing better. Hey, Zero. I've been doing better. This is probably gonna go nowhere on this side. Like, this whole area is, I don't think there's anything to it. What was I gonna say? Oh, I need to kill these things too and get some mushroom stuff. What was I gonna say? Oh, even just the past, you know, few sessions at the gym have made it way easier for me to use a standing desk some more. And that's helping me feel more awake and alert. I was going to use it today, but I ran out of time to set up the stream. Ankles are the worst part of your chronic pain. Sample platter. Sample platter. So if I can get them to not be in significant pain for a year, yeah. It'll help. No, I used to do Wii Fit streams, and I lost 20 to 40 followers every single stream, and I think it, to a decent degree, also helped kill my viewership just overall. So I'm not doing that again. No, damn it! I want the thing. It's a shame I'm unable to swim for now. I got like 2 or 3 photoshops, and it wasn't 20 to 40. It wasn't 20 to 40 followers at all. It was 20 to 40 per stream, so I lost hundreds. And an actual gym? No, I can't. Well, 2 things. First off is that at my weight, and especially for some of the exercises, Wii Fit actually does have a decent burn to it. Second is that setting up at the gym is just not going to happen for a bunch of different reasons. Let alone like privacy of people at the gym, but the logistics are ridiculous. Wait a second. I can't get down there. It is weirder than streaming Wii Fit as well. If I had a home gym, I'd consider it. But it doesn't really matter anyways, because what's going to happen, you surprised what you can do with just physical therapy exercises for... Yeah! And using, like, bodyweight exercises, 2 things. One is that bodyweight exercises for heavier people actually are pretty effective because you have a lot of weight to work with. But the second is that the Wii Fit stuff, their main focus and part of the reason why it does have decent exertion to it... Oh, that's the right one. There we go. Part of the reason why it does have exertion is because they focus so much on getting your balance correct, and your balance has to be, like, millimeter accurate to get good scores in it. So because of that, the Wii Fit actually does have a decent amount of strain to it, especially for all of your, like, poorly used muscles and balance stuff. So Wii Fit actually does have some impact, surprisingly. And normally I'd only ever do like 20 minutes anyways, because I'd be super winded. Because of how much strain it is to stay as balanced as they want you to be. But no, I'm not saying that there isn't room to go to a regular gym and to use a lot of weights and stuff as well. But saying that Wii Fit has no effect or is very minimal in the impact is kind of incorrect. People basically look at it and go, "Well, it's a game and all you do is balance. Nah, it's easy, right?" No. Not if you're actually trying to get like good scores and stuff. Still trying to figure out where we need to go next. But it's not even achieving balance. It's the things that they ask you to do while remaining balanced. And how they ask you to shift your weight and everything. Man, too many pointy hats today. But just as much as losing weight, or just as much as exercising, though, I do need to. I need to eat better as well, and I've been going up and down with that. I've been going back and forth between cutting carbs and what does this say? Okay, cutting carbs and intermittent fasting, and currently I'm going back to cutting carbs just because it's easier to lead into intermittent fasting with that. But intermittent fasting is more work friendly. Especially because it's less work into meal prepping and stuff and decision making for what you eat. They had not a breakout type game. I'm trying to think of what they called it. One of the Wii Fit games was really, really good. It was one where you basically are playing like Breakout with a tennis, it was like racquetball, or I don't know. But that one I actually liked a lot. And tennis overall, like if I was in well enough physical shape to do tennis, I totally would. Main issue, because of the pain problems, you can't cook. Parents both work. Yeah, I mean, for me right now, it's like I'm too busy to cook consistently, and there's not many foods that keep very well and are low carb, especially something you can freeze and bring to work without just eating, the same snacky stuff over and over again. And I don't have the mental fortitude for that right now with how busy and how stressful keeping up with work and everything else has been. Not that work is stressful, but the thing about work, which is really rough for me right now, is that I have to keep up with a bunch of incredibly talented people, and it is a challenge, and it's somewhat regular that I feel, especially lately, like I'm out of my league. Doesn't Amy's make some decent frozen food? Much of that stuff is really high carbs. Most frozen food, most food meant to last has a lot of carbs. With the exception of like jerky and some other stuff. Cheese. I think somewhere around here is going to be, with any luck, should be somewhere we can double jump to or something. You have a thing called executive dysfunction, which is part of ADHD, means you lack a get up and go instinct. Dude, I feel that a lot, and I've been getting better about it since I've been sleeping better, but it's not perfect. This one's really good, Ryu. Their music overall is really good. I'm a big fan. There's a save point down here. You buy about 2 pounds of turkey a week and last you so your next day is off. Yeah, I've been doing deli meat here and there. Like I'd get a loaf of like, I don't know, like 12 grain, multi-grain, whatever bread. Like one of the brownberry Oro wheat ones. I never went here. And I would get like a multi-pound. Here we go. I would get a multi-pound mix of like turkey, salami, and ham, and get some sliced cheese as well, and just make sandwiches for a while. But man, it is hard to keep eating the same sandwich over and over again. It's filling though, and it'll last a while, and it's easy to make, and easy to make ahead of time. So, I mean, that might happen next week. Like, over the weekend, I'll buy more sandwich prep stuff. Traveler's Cloak. Was that new? Did I not already have this? I think I... Oh no, it's new. A lightly enchanted gray cloak with an ornate clasp in the shape of a leaf. Don't think I needed that for anything. Also means if you're really poor long-term planning and habit forming skills, you could take a pill for months and then need an alarm to remember, or still need an alarm to remember. I struggle to consistently take my allergy medicine and vitamins. Part of the reason why I ended up taking off of work yesterday is because I didn't take my allergy medicine Wednesday, and I was sniffling and stuff all throughout, and then I was stomach sick later, and it was like, screw it, I'm recovering. More beads, nice. Take 6+ months for you to form any kind of reliable habit. I tend to be at risk of mine falling apart, and I gotta be really careful about it. Like, I didn't go to the gym yesterday simply because I was sick, and now I have to go. Here we go. Now I have to go not only tomorrow but Sunday in order to make it up. Because today I'm not gonna have time. And yeah, so I had run out of the multivitamin I normally took, and I had a stock of like chewable vitamins because of I thought getting the tonsillectomy and everything would make it too difficult to take vitamins for a while. And it turned out that wasn't the case, but I still ran out anyway, so I didn't buy any new ones. And I only recently bought my normal vitamins again, and I definitely feel it when I don't take them. That and when I don't drink enough water. One of the things that for me, like, I would find it really hard to dismiss anybody struggling with stuff, because what seems like the simplest things I would struggle with, and then it turns out that there's something I can do to fix it, and it tends to be hard to figure out, and it's not the same for everybody. So why would I give anybody any trouble at all if they've got stuff they're dealing with? You know, I try as best as I can. You know, if they're not, if the line would be basically if there's somebody at work doing something, or, how do I get there? No, I've been there. How do I get over here? It would basically be like if somebody's previously been perfectly capable of doing the role and nothing's really changed and they just got lazy or whatever. But even then, it's like everybody's got something going on. It doesn't even have to be, oftentimes it is disability, or, there's something that isn't working out for them physically or mentally, but, there's just as easily, like, situational stuff. They're having a family crisis, or, or whatever it is, Mental health with your ADHD. No, I'm not trying to tell you anything about your situation. I'm just saying overall, like, everybody's got something to deal with, and dealing with it isn't the same for everybody. So I'm trying as best as I can to. Here we go. Finally, I'm trying. I would hope to never have to give anybody any trouble just because they're struggling with something, and I could hope that I could have the same privilege. All right, new place. This is so we've been. This area was blocked off pretty early on because I didn't have the double jump. I figured there'd be something to it, climbing, flying, crawling, something. Or in this case, whoa! In this case, a double jump. This is interesting. Oh, huh. A skeleton. Looks like they took quite the tumble. What's this? A key card, yes. It's the B one, though, okay. Your parents just think you're lazy and undisciplined or need to try on a rigid work schedule. No, it doesn't work like that. It sucks that your parents are like that, though. For how long you've been dealing with this? You'd think that they would perhaps understand slightly better, but I guess not. But, you know, then again, there are people who are just stubborn in their ignorance. Keycard for senior level scientists allows access to B level clearance area. So not this one. But luckily, not only do we have doors we can go through, but we also have a convenient teleporter right next to us. So it all works out. You know your mom just can't do some things because if it doesn't interest her, the dopamine in the brain, because reinforced action won't happen. Yeah, I have to fight to get myself to do certain things. It's just like, I can only remind myself that they'll have a satisfaction, they'll have some manner of satisfaction later, even though they suck. And like, I'm like dead to the experience otherwise. But I tend to not, like, one of the big things for me, and I know this is significantly different, not only in her case, but in a lot of other people's cases as well. Like, maintenance things are the worst for me, because I don't get any satisfaction from them, because I know immediately that I have to go back and do them in another couple days or weeks or whatever. So, like, simple tasks like just, you know, keeping my apartment clean or, you know, laundry or whatever, I get no satisfaction out of it. And the only way I could really tend to get it working is if I feel like everything, like, I do get satisfaction out of getting things into like an organized, put away state and having everything open and clean and well kept. And that's the only, like, that's the way I have to get satisfaction from that. Otherwise, there's like not a strong drive toward it, because you could ignore a lot of this stuff for a while before it becomes a problem. Parents are trying to be like helpful, but they refuse to be empathetic. They give you worthless advice. Well, I mean, bear in mind, it's quite possible that they have just too poor an understanding and just, they want to at least show that they care, but they can't possibly conceptualize the actual scenario that you're in. So to some degree, I almost feel like maybe as best as you can try to understand that, if that does happen to be the case, that maybe they actually are trying to, even if they're not equipped in any way to really help and can't offer any usable advice, you know, maybe at least they're trying to offer some solace or some help. And I know to some degree it's going to feel like you're being patronized, because I've seen people do this over and over again. They have, like, really, they actually have decent intentions, even if they're not even remotely capable of helping, and anything they can offer just makes it worse. Where is, maybe it's down. I'm trying to remember where the B door was. I think it's over here. Yeah, it's at the elevator. I think. What do you got to say? Hello again. I hope you're enjoying the wealth of historical knowledge the library has to offer. That's about it. It's passive aggression that comes from a good place, but intentions only count for so much when it's genuinely emotionally distressing. Then tell them and remind them and just say, hey, like, maybe we can just not talk for a while. I mean, you'll have to pick what works for you. But like, if it was me, I'd basically say, hey, like, I know you want to help, but this isn't working out. Let's just not bring it up anymore. You know, you have a right to ask stuff to that effect. I mean, what you'll have to find what works in your situation. Have you literally gone into just having an honest conversation and bringing it up and say, hey, like, I can't, this isn't working out. And if so, then if they can't get past that and they can't understand that, and you're so distant from that, from like that connection of at least getting them to just be on the same page to any degree, down here, then you basically need to say, hey, like, we're just not talking anymore. Just no hard feelings. This isn't working out. And if you had, it seems like you don't have the agency, and I'm gonna try not to assume one way or another, but it seems like you don't have the agency to completely disconnect from them. But I feel like once you get the opportunity, it might be for the best. What is over here that we haven't been to? But yeah, I have to recognize that I can't offer any real advice. All I could do is kind of reinforce or not get it, one or the other. Mother passed away before Linnaeus was born. The whole clan grieved with me, but we cannot grieve for long. Interesting that they say Mother passed away before Linnaeus was born. So what does that mean? Does Linnaeus have a sister that I'm not remembering? The whole clan grieved with me, but we cannot grieve for long. Linnaeus was born as we traveled. She had brilliant blue hair, confirming in my mind who the father must have been. The elders asked if I wanted to find him, to bring him into the clan, but I said he couldn't be trusted. He's Lakimi. Anyway, I had no desire to see him again. He was never meant to be a long-term commitment. Wait, no, but these are Selena's memories, so it's Selena's mother. Maybe? That's probably what she's saying. It's not her sister, it's her grandmother. Right? Or, well, not Linnaeus' sister. Or, you know what I mean. Linnaeus was born as he traveled? She is... Okay, well, the elders asked if I wanted to find him to bring him into the clan, but I said he could be trusted. He's Lakimi. Anyway, I had no desire to see him again. He was never meant to be a long-term commitment. Linnaeus is headstrong. She rallies the kids around her. Man, my controller turned off in the middle of the sentence. Give me a sec. I was wondering when that would happen. She rallies the kids around her in games of exploration and adventure. I try to teach her patience, but it comes slowly. But she's strong. Not like Farron and Gianna's son. Yorn is quiet, and he can be mean, but I cannot blame him. Farron gives him little attention. Yorn seems unable to replace Farron's previous son from the other history, no matter how hard he tries. Oh man, so he was such a freaking douchebag, but he sort of, like, I can't feel as upset about him anymore, and I kind of feel bad that we threw the rock at him earlier. In his mind, his family is lost to the sands. Gianna gave him a son, but despite her best intentions, she could not give him the kind of family he wanted. I understand now why Mother privately cautioned her. Linnaeus, wait up, Yorn calls as they race around the encampment. Linnaeus pauses. Then Yorn rushes past her. Ha, sucker. Linnaeus snarls and gives chase. Sticks float in the air around her head. Her aura is powerful, more powerful than mine. We will have to train her as a time messenger. We may have to train them both. We can't keep on like this, or we will lose another whole clan to other histories. And you get that they're old, they're concerned about your future, because they're not gonna... Yeah... Well, especially, yeah, if they're much older than you. Or much older, I don't know how to explain it. See, there's not even a standard in which I can relate that sentence to, but So, you know, if they're, you know, more than 20 years older, you know, 20, 30 years older than you are, or even much older than that, they're in their 60s. Okay. See, I couldn't really word that. I've never had to discuss that ever, like parent-child age difference. But yeah, it feels like, and especially if I'm trying not to dive too deep into your situation, but you have like two like significantly huge layers of disconnect if it's both a very large age gap, but also an adoption on top of that. So, I mean, to some degree, I can kind of understand that they just don't have the tools to deal with it, and even the sort of like cultural behavior and such to maybe understand and adapt. Not that it's right, but I sort of understand a little better. You know, it sucks that it's a situation that is both undesirable and not really able to be corrected. What is this all about? We went really deep, too. Look at this. Oh, jeez. What? You're dead. Oh, yeah, that's true, yeah. And in that case, you know, they haven't even watched things start to become tough. Hey, Hal. And insurance and healthcare was cheaper, too. So it kind of goes to show the level of disconnect. Oh, sorry, Hal. These corridors remind me so much of Chasm. Oh, isn't this this area is accessible in the past? I think. Yeah, White, I understand that. If I get double income, I get almost nothing from the ads. Nobody does. Well, I might get a pittance if I had 10 times as many viewers. That's why, like, I could never, with a straight face, ever suggest that anybody, like... actually, like, if they have a way to get the ads out of the way, then just do it. You know what? Get out of here. All you can really hope for is better social programs and or somebody who can work to want to take care of you. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that in the future our, you know, society happens to be a little bit better off in dealing with, you know, taking care of each other and stuff. Water mask. Weighted mask allowing breathing and movement underwater. Nice, finally. I hope it's a relic. It is. Okay, perfect. I haven't seen the new FH hero. For Honor hero. No, I haven't. I haven't kept up with any For Honor at all. He's a Dark Souls character? Perfect. I think we've hit a threshold with how things are nowadays to where it's very likely there's going to be a big push for change, like, relatively soon. And hopefully, you know, whether it's, you know, regardless of whatever it ends up being called, you know, universal health care, you know, Medicare for all or whatever. I'd hope something like that takes root and happens quick. Nice. But just as much as, you know, I would very much like for everyone to get paid fairly for the work that they do. Simple stuff. You know, not to make the stream too political or anything like that. Yeah, but we're in a position where, like, people are now suffering so much in such gigantic numbers that people are going to push for change. Getting this mask means we have so much more to explore. Well, I mean, a lot of where we're at right now is because of that behavior. You know, where people who feel like that they're in a position where they've either been wronged or they're missing out on opportunities have been pitted against each other by people who are far above and disconnected from that situation. Man, I'm getting a lot of level ups. I mean, we've been doing way more combat recently. How much healing are we getting here? Any? Maybe every long while or so. What? You could land? I mean, if I could fly and I was sitting there doing nothing, I'd probably be like, nah. Taking a break. Kylian, you have so much stamina for that I don't have, even though as much as I like the game. I probably would never grind to getting everything. I could see myself playing past finishing the main storyline, though. Have I checked out Piku Niku? I'm aware of it. I haven't touched it at all. My current out there platformer that I plan to play more of is going to be Goner. I don't know if you've ever heard of Goner before, but that game is awesome. But I have a lot of stuff on my plate, so I'm probably not going to be jumping back and forth between stuff without a lot of careful thought. And I'm honestly not, like, if it's cheap on Steam, I probably won't bother getting it from the Twitch client. Mostly because I just don't care for the Twitch client. I've even avoided, like, Discord and stuff, just out of a lack of interest in dealing with Discord. And yeah, early access is the other thing. There are too many complete games for me to play right now to consider playing something before it's done. But, it's definitely, like, it's on my radar of, like, it seems to be well regarded, but I don't really know anything about it. I would say try to, like, if you can, remind me next time there's a lull, and there's not really much for me to be streaming. But right now I'm overwhelmed. Not only am I, like, too busy with work and other stuff, just taking care of myself, whatever, but there's plenty of games that are done and out, and ready for me. So there's no need for me to rush through something that's not even done yet. Hey, werewolf! Can't say much about it without being kind of spoiler. Oh, that's fine. I will keep it in mind, though, as a recommendation. And I do remember this stuff. I might not remember exactly who told me over and over again, or the individual people who have reminded me. But I definitely always have that sort of sense of like, I've heard this over and over again, I should probably check it out. Hey! This, yeah, so this is the... Hey, no, it's not like that. But I will admit, I have old people in memory. Like, I'll remember, very little. Just from my lack of, my memory's bad. It is totally Castlevania vibes. It's like Order of Ecclesia-esque. That's nasty. I've seen something like this before, though. What game was this in? I've seen something like this before, where they do, they try to slice out like that. From a... I don't know. I recognize this from somewhere. Maybe I've seen the sprite. Oh, and yeah, White, I totally understand the whole, you know, difficult to mention anything because of how... Hey, there's mushrooms. I understand, like, there are certain games that only really work if you go in knowing nothing. Like, Zero Ranger was incredible. Going through that blind and not realizing how much the game had to it. And anybody who's into space shooters, especially vertical shooters, I'd wholeheartedly recommend checking out Zero Ranger and going in blind. Especially if you're good at those games. But even if you're not super great. You only saw the initial trailer for Piku Niku? Yeah, all I really saw was that it was kind of cutesy. Nothing special. Man, where does this lead? It's like a really deep temple here. I would say, honestly, those types of games are a lot friendlier and less unforgiving than you would think. So if you can get the, if you're willing to take if you're willing to be courageous about it, Zero Ranger is a really good space shooter to start on. Zero Ranger, Super Hydora would probably be the best if you're new to the genre, because Super Hydora has a fantastic difficulty curve. The music for this area reminds me of, was it Crystal Teardrops or whatever? In Symphony of the Night. Not a mechanical game, it's more about the overall energy. That'd be something for me to watch then. I tend to want a good mix of the presentation and the story or the lore or whatever, the theme, at the very least, alongside gameplay that's interesting in some way. It doesn't have to be difficult or complex. It's gotta have something to it that makes it interesting, you know. I kind of feel like, you know, if the interactivity isn't a selling point, then why isn't it interactive, you know? Even games like Journey, which is very light. What is this? Wind Orb. Slices foes with supersonic gusts of wind. Journey was not incredibly complex with its gameplay, and it was relatively short, too. But it was pretty legit. Oh, it's faster, too. Well, I'll keep an ear out, and if I had a point where, well, you know, when it gets released. Wow, that could do some good DPS. If I had a point where things are pretty light, and the game's out, I'll definitely give it a shot. Those are wyverns? The baby ones, I guess. Copper wyverns. And I'm looking forward to having a work week where I'm not staying so late. And especially the amount of stuff I'm having to juggle lately, holy crap. And all I'm doing is planning on adding more in the future too. I wish we lived in a world where I could reasonably talk about what I work on. But, alas, it will never happen ever. Well, I don't know. Like, I could see myself talking about it like 5 or 10 years after not working for them, maybe. But right now, the work is alright. They pay me pretty alright. And people I work for the most part, are pretty chill. My issues are more, they're not really so much with the conditions or the pay or the people I work with or whatever. It's mostly that it's such a struggle for me to keep up. You know, and that's probably the optimal work environment for me anyways. You know, make me struggle, make me be the one who has to keep up. Then obviously I can be depressed here and there, and be frustrated, but only because it'll be frustrated and depressed at myself. Because it's work, you know, it's tough. You know, working at any pretty good AAA dev is going to be, you know, where it's not, you're not working with amateurs, you know, and the standards are way higher. I can't make it up here, no. Oh, I need that. No, I don't. Never mind, I already did that. Ooh, we're coming to something big. This could be like a death fight. This has got to be a boss room, right? No? Yeah? No? Yeah? Ooh, hello. Hey, buddy. You want to talk? No, hold on a sec. Did that say Ancient Frail? Pikuniku speedruns? I would say look up a game called Goner, because that game's gonna have some good speedruns. Also, it's super quirky. I think you have to kill it to get it to your list, I think. Jeez, it's not even a head. That's it? Wow, normally things like explode or disintegrate. That's way worse. That's sad. Well, White, no. We're not, no, it's not that way, White. Because, first off, yes, there are some companies that will basically say you can't see anything. But let's not demonize every game dev when, first off, not everyone even puts up that rule. Second off is that it's not so restrictive that I couldn't say anything. But third is that the reason why I don't speak up is because I don't think... Unfortunately, nowadays, with the culture of gamers in general, you never, ever, ever want to ever say anything no matter what. Because gamers will tear you apart. So, and like, you're not only, it's not about, you know, protecting the company and not divulging secrets or whatever. It's that literally gamers will set up lynch mobs and leave freaking messages on your windshield and, you know, demonize you and the company as best as they can, dox you, whatever, if you say something they don't like. So no, it's no surprise. It should come as no surprise to anybody that no sane game dev who has no dependence on interacting with players would never want to interact with another player ever as a game dev. And like, indie devs are dependent on it, and indie devs need that connection to get people to pay attention to their games. AAA devs don't really need that. They don't need a direct connection, and they would get eaten for it anyways, so nobody's ever going to put up with it. You know, no... Plasma Crystal. Plasma Crystal? We're in the past! So there are mines for plasma. Interesting. Oh, you know what it is? That's why there's plasma in the present in Wisteria, or not Wisteria, Wendaria. This is interesting. So there is some ancient source of plasma here, and a boss. Surprise, surprise. Hold on, not yet. I want to see the rest of everything. Cool, though. Wait. Gamers can be really awful. Social media culture. Yeah, and the funny thing is that when you're working on a AAA game, like, you have to realize that the people that your customers are not anybody like on the YouTubes and the Reddits and the, you know, Twitch or anything. Like, so why should you suffer an interaction with less than a 0.1% of your audience whose contributions are going to be meaningless anyways? Why would you dare put up with that? You know, where there's, it's so infinitesimally small. There is some value in, for example, the larger content creators, you know, making connections with them, but even then, it's tiny. You know, if you wonder why a lot of the marketing money is just spent on commercials and stuff that reaches a more mainstream audience, it's because that's your audience and that's where your money comes from. And those are the people who aren't going to whine at every random thing they don't like, and, you know, make demands to the developers directly, and then you know, send out death threats and stuff when it doesn't go their way. Like, why would a AAA dev ever want to deal with those people when they don't even matter to your bottom line anyways? You know, you're basically saying, I'm electing to suffer for no gain whatsoever. Like, logically, you would never ever do it. But if you're an indie dev, first off, you tend to get more of a pass with how your game is put together. You can produce your smaller project for cheaper anyways. And culturally, you're more tolerated and respected anyways. Yeah, where with AAA devs, it's like, oh, all they want is your money, and they want to screw you as hard as they can. And, you know, of course that isn't the case. But it's taken as fact now, so you really have no ability to dispute it anyways. What boss do we have? This must be the Maw of Asmodeus, the thing that destroys Volete, and lets Lakim become the undisputed power. So, I think I know what this is. The Maw of Asmodeus is basically an entrance to a significant source of plasma in the world. That's my guess. And maybe plasma is all demon-oriented or something. Who knows? Well, not this time. You're just going to destroy the Maw. Oh my god, we are. But that's so bad. All we're going to do... This is probably a bunch of sealed-away plasma. It's red and everything. Everything else is red, too. And there's a bit of plasma mist. We're totally dooming the entire everything. Please do it with style. Well. Whoa. That's fine. I can kill you from either side. And the air here, I've never felt so light. So, yeah, I mean, if this isn't chock full of plasma, I'll be shocked. So right. Yeah. Let's do this. Is this like hyper mode? No. This thing is gonna get up soon, yeah, I was about to say. Oh look! Her bar is purple and she does more damage. So this is hyper mode. Oh, easy now. Whoa, okay, that's cool. That can't be it. Portal's gone. Is Valete safe? Even if they are, everyone's stuck here now. Okay, so this was the portal. So the Maw of Asmodeus then is just the portal back to between Lakeem and Oh man, the future's gonna be really weird now. Problem is that people focus on the devs and the corporations that run them. This isn't the producers obscene monetization practices. No, that's even wrong anyways. Oh my god, how much... Like, I don't want to spend the entire stream just having to dispel misinformation about the game industry. But I will say this, though. Like, it's further down the line than you can imagine. It's not that devs are trying to basically squeeze money, and publishers or, you know, further up than that are trying to squeeze money out of the consumer. It's that games now cost about a quarter of, like, per... Oh my god, like... The amount of... The strain is... Like, so, games are expensive to make and bigger than they've ever been, and there is some ability to offset a lot of that just by the scale of how much you can sell like a $60 game, but that isn't enough. Like, games are still they're cheaper than they've been almost in like ever. Well, no, I guess they are the cheapest they've ever been. Like, think about how much Mario 64 cost in like 1996, 1997. Where in today's dollars that would be like 110 plus. And we're selling games for like 60. But on the other hand, the reason why this is in conflict, and it shouldn't necessarily, like, it shouldn't be in conflict, but the reason why it's in conflict and everybody thinks, you know, everyone's so upset about it is because the buying power of the average consumer, the amount of spendable income people have, you know, if people could barely afford to pay rent and you know, pay food and support themselves, let alone buy games anymore. And we should probably put a lot of effort into saying, hey, like, why can't we afford these things that cost less than half as much as they probably could? Why are we that much less able to afford that stuff? Yeah, it's a way bigger, more all-encompassing problem than people think, and it's not just game, you know, publishers or whatever are greedy or whatever, and, you know, people just want more money in their pockets. But people think in extremely narrow ways, and they just say, "Oh, well, the one thing I could see in front of me is the problem, right?" And it's like, no, I mean, not really. And I hate having to have this discussion over and over again because everyone keeps forgetting. You know, and it's not so widespread knowledge that, you know, by the system. Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying overall. Like, I'm trying as hard as I can to not make it political, but it's like, if people can barely afford to exist in poverty, and it's getting worse and worse over time, maybe we could put more thought into the, you know, into like, I can't afford a luxury that costs half as that's squeezing itself as best as it can to be cheaper and remain affordable to people who still can't afford it at half price. And if you wonder why, you know, there's all these plans and schemes to increase the monetization for games to try to recoup some of that cost, especially from the people who can afford it. That's why there's such a preference for cosmetic stuff, because at least you can get some money out of it without impacting people who can't put the money into it. You know, because if you can't monetize these games further than the $60 or whatever it ends up being, you know, you can't afford to produce these games, you know, at all. You know, I mean, like, it's not like, oh, they'll just not do as well. It's no, these, you know, the money is not there to make the games anymore. You love if one of the timelines became ridiculously warped after something I do in the past? I think we just did that. We're gonna go find out in a little bit. We gotta go back to the very beginning. I hope I didn't write in time splitters. Lake, caves. I'm looking for, I think it's over here. Somewhere around the forest. Let's see. Here we go. We heard a rumble from below. What happened out there? I destroyed the thing that the Lakimi had guarding the portal. Then the portal was liberated. I'm sorry. When the Maw was destroyed, so was the portal. Oh, we have a soldier on the left and the biggest freaking honkin' stalwart defender on the right. We are boned. Hopefully we can still double jump. I see. Oh, you're taking this well. Then there is no going back. Wait, no! Hey, I have killed Bigger. But, like, Bigger and Angry, I don't know. Yeah, White. I don't know if I could go so far as saying, like, our entire economic structure and the basic concept is wrong. I don't have enough knowledge to speculate on that respect, but I certainly feel like at the very least you combine that with the people element and there's no way it'll ever work. I have your meat. Hey, I destroyed your portal, but I came back with some meat. You want some meat? Let's have some stew. Well, there's something I usually only hear boys say. But thanks. One freshly cooked drumstick coming right up. Meet me tonight. Well, at least somebody got the joke. I wonder if the Lakimi have any good recipes. Well, I don't think I have a need for any of their stuff, but what do you got? The woods are quiet. The plant mats have been culled as requested. Thank you. You'd make a good soldier. Hey, I need a safe place to sleep too. So, you're from Valete? Yes, born and raised. Trained to be an officer as soon as my magical capabilities were discovered. You have magic too? Of course. Valete is a meritocracy of the magical. A celebration of our abilities to help the world. And you're at war with Lakim. The Lakimi are the outcasts and criminals of Leyte, sent here as an act of mercy over imprisonment or execution. which is clearly a mistake. Left to form their own society, they declared war against Velete. And so here we are. And now they consort with demons to defeat us. I know that Lakimi can be cruel. Can be cruel still. It's why I'm here. Then you're welcome to stay, Linnaeus. But they regret what they've done. Regret doesn't excuse the deaths they've caused. Kylian, Yakuza is a really good example, and it doesn't work for every game. In fact, it's not going to work for many games, but it's a really, really good example of over time, hyper-optimizing their asset use and becoming really, really good at their tools, and knowing exactly what they want out of it. And I think they're a great example for future games, but I don't think they're the model that everyone can base their projects on. You know, there's too many games that are too big in worlds, too much diversity of content, to make that sort of thing work. But I would like more games to try, you know? And yeah, I think both players and the people in charge of the marketing and the presentation have come together to create an expectation of things that are way too big to be sustainable. And I would be perfectly happy with taking that in another direction. And in fact, if you wonder why I play so many indie games and why I play so few mainstream AAA games, you know, that's a lot of why. Because, like, I like being able to reward the creativity. I like being able to reward making interesting use of efficient assets. And the gameplay that you get out of that tends to be more appealing to me anyways. Oh, you want something else? What do you got? Linnaeus, a word? What do you need? I know you defeated the leaders of the demons already, and forced the surrender of the Lakimi Queen. Well, but Lakimi forces still harry our troops here on the bleak world. I would mount an attack to strike back and strengthen our position, but with so many of my unit dead or deserted, I cannot make a move while this camp is still in danger. Need me to kill more wildlife? A greater threat than mere animals. In the caves beneath the forest live sirens. Their presence in the area is new. They may be aligned with the demons. They use similar tactics, too. Both male and female lure in unsuspecting soldiers with their songs and beauty, thus posing a danger to even veteran soldiers. I would, of course, be able to deal with them myself, but I cannot leave the camp unattended. Sounds like a good challenge. I'll see what I can do. Return when 10 have been slain. What matters in the executive world is profit margin. Yeah, I mean, it's really, yeah, if you think about it, it's a lot further up than you would think, but it's not just, I will say though, like, in terms of producing games, like, it isn't, the push to make microtransactions and everything else work isn't necessarily just, you know, a pure drive for profit. It's like, many of these games, like, you can't get them off the ground for just $60 a copy, even with the amount that they sell. Linnaeus, welcome back. Did you find anything? At least, I don't know how to say this. Elena destroys Velete, the whole planet. What? There's nothing left. It's gone. Nell, Lakim destroys. Can you stop them? What? I don't. Linnaeus, please, you have to stop them. So many people will die. Can't you do something? I don't know that I can. I can try, but at least the file said Lakim was right to do that. That Velete was ruled by a mad dictator who had to be stopped. Of course they'd say that they're in the right. It's the victor who writes history. So it just lied about everything? No. There is some truth to what the file said. Now, tell me about it. Look, I was never part of Harristill's unit. I actually left the Veletian army a long time ago. I was an archer. They conscripted me. I tried so hard to be who they wanted me to be, but I never really fit in. Looking back, it was like I spent everything trying to outrun who I really was. Eventually, I actually ran. Emperor von Tyrillus of Velite is not a kind man, nor is the empire he's building. I couldn't bring myself to agree with his methods. Couldn't keep fighting for that cause. I couldn't accept the way Velite treated the Lakimi, the way the bleakness hurts them on this world. And I wasn't happy with who I was turning into. Nell, I'm glad you ran. If Star Citizen actually crashes and burns after taking hundreds of millions from crowdfunding, you think that would have a pretty big impact? No, not really. I would like to think so, but I think people won't have a long enough memory for that. I think it needs to be like it needs to be bigger suffering than just the game doesn't work out. You know? I mean, the smaller scale stuff, like the Ouya, for example, the big Kickstarter flop that got everyone's attention at the beginning. Kickstarter didn't fall apart because of that. But I don't think Star Citizen's going to be big enough to be on the radar. Like, it's not going to... Star Citizen failing isn't going to put people into poverty. You know, that's kind of I think the only way we're going to get significant change in terms of the structure of how goods are produced and our economy as a whole is unfortunately going to be to where it's too much pain and suffering for people to ignore in a really long span of time. And I think we're heading towards that anyways. And yeah, I mean, what we were saying before, the lowered cost of games that doesn't support the cost of developing those games is still not low enough for the extremely low income that the average consumer has. They're not compatible. Like basically what's happening is that, like, the developing games of that scale can't sustain itself anymore. You know, it's not compatible with the average consumer. Means they'll look to recoup assets. Yeah, what you'll end up seeing is like, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing either. Like, bringing games that the current generation and the next so many years of players have never heard of or touched anyways, or never got into, and doing remasters, which can be, it's not free, but it's not going to be. It won't necessarily be as expensive as building and concepting the game from scratch. Sometimes it's expensive. I mean, if you take a game that was relatively cheap to make with low tech assets and on earlier hardware, like, comparatively, it's not going to be super expensive to make relative to something completely fresh and new. Nowadays, like, it is a way to get new players into the system, to get some money into the system without as much risk, especially, let alone the investment. And you'll have tons of people who have never played these games before having an amazing experience with something that they know is good because tons of people have played it before and they had a fantastic time, and that's totally okay. But that's definitely not going to, that's not going to be a solution for just how do we produce games of a certain caliber nowadays when it's just too expensive and impractical to do it. After that, I took up alchemy to find myself, and hopefully to find a way to fix the bleakness. I came to Lakeem to help both sides heal. That was good of you. But Lakeem's still the enemy here, aren't they? At least, they're my enemy. They chased my clan for generations. In my time, they killed my family, my friends. I can't just forgive that. Linnaeus, I understand how you feel. They have done terrible things here as well. It's true. But it's never really that simple. So everyone is terrible and deserves to have their planet destroyed? No, Felipe has done some bad things, but no one deserves that. Which is why you have to stop them. Please, Linnaeus. Millions of lives are at stake. Don't worry. I will stop the leukemia. It's what I came here to do. Thank you. But please remember, it's not as simple as we want to make it. They don't all deserve death, either. You have so much compassion. I wish I could afford to be like that. Wow, you are so, like... Linnaeus is so, like, on the warpath right now. Yeah, well, I mean, she's somewhat right. I don't think she has the... She's getting pretty close to committing genocide. Linnaeus, I've been thinking about what you found out about Felipe. That it would have been destroyed? Yes, if Felipe is gone and the leukemia continue living here for 1,000 years, they must have cured the bleakness, right? Oh, crap. So we're just following through on the... So here's the thing. With what we've done, I almost feel like I have this thought that all we're doing is recreating the history that already happened. Yes, if Felipe is gone and the leukemia continue living here for 1,000 years, they must have cured the bleakness, right? Otherwise, how would they have survived? Huh? I guess so. And if they cured it, you could find out how, and then I could finally do something about it. Sure, Nell, do what I can. It probably won't just be in that library, but maybe the facility where I found the Timespinner would have records. Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have the power to bring everybody together, not just yet. You have something what do you want? I have your mushrooms. You weren't kidding about those spores. Are you okay? I'll be fine. Let me brew these up. Where to go save this soldier? Oh, good morning. Lie still. You're still very weak. Can you hear me? Can you understand me? Don't try to speak. Your throat is extremely raw. The bleakness has hit you hard. Thanks, Linnaeus. I think I'll survive. Got a potion, that's it. Yeah, Kaliana, I think overall, it makes sense, especially in the short span in which the game is, like, yeah, we're going back and forth 1,000 years, whatever, but from Linnaeus' perspective, it's probably not a long time for her to come around. Romita? Oh, hi, Linnaeus. I'm glad you stopped by. I've been thinking, if I can ease the bleakness a bit, even temporarily, it might help me treat some of the underlying health issues that are making it so bad for this man. He's not getting much better. In the caves where he first came through the portal, I remember seeing some plasma crystals. Oh, I found them. I'm not sure how effective they'll be for medical purposes compared to real plasma, but it's worth a shot. And you want me to get one for you? If you would. It's too dangerous for me to... Yeah, I got it. No problem. Meanwhile... No, yeah, I mean, no. I mean, well, she's probably not actually gonna commit genocide, but she's pretty pissed right now. Is this the crystal you need? Yes, thank you. Let's hope it helps. While you were gone, I slept and dreamt. I was back in Felipe before this war. I saw the Emperor Terrorless rise to power with his powerful magics. I saw how they took anyone with magical gifts to raise in their cloistered castles, and how they treated those who had no magic, like second-class citizens. And then all the Velician Emperor's enemies gathered up and forced through the portal to this world. And the war, the things they've done. And being here now, seeing what the bleakness can do. And it was just a dream. I don't know. I guess I can just understand why the leukemia are so angry, willing to fight back. Their actions may be wrong, but I can't say Velites have ever been any better. Maybe I'll talk to Haristel about it. Sure. I will say I do like how, like, the little pieces are being given to Linnaeus to kind of come around, you know? Like, she's fighting it, but, like, rather than just having the hero come around after some vision quest or whatever, this is presented in such a much more organic way. And I kind of like that. I'm glad it isn't such like a quick, just arbitrary, like, I see, I found the one piece of text that explains everything, and now it's all better. Instead, like, as you're playing through the game, she's not even coming around right away, it's more like the pieces aren't quite working out, and she's having to put it together. Did I play Deltarune? No, not yet. It's on my to-do list. But I really need to hurry up and play it at some point. But I've just been looking for the right moment. I did 2 out of the 3 endings in Undertale, and I've seen the 3rd one. Or I guess main endings, or whatever, however we're gonna call that. But I felt kind of bad that I didn't go and do the 3rd one myself. Not because it was a big story reveal. I do feel like I've thrown away some potential gamer cred by not doing it myself. But I couldn't bring myself to be such a huge fucking asshole about it. But to some degree, that's been kind of preventing me from playing Deltarune. It's not just that. That's part of why I haven't played Deltarune yet. Ooh. But, I gotta have the right moment for that game. I feel like it's gonna be one of those games that I, like, in order for me to really get absorbed into it and appreciate it. Toby hasn't lost his touch in the slightest. Perfect. That's really all I needed to hear. Ooh. Eel meat. Mmm. But no, I play to play it. I just gotta find the right time. It's gotta be like when I'm not super busy. I'm really liking how these rooms, how you get to these rooms tends to be a bit different, but how a lot of them are structurally similar. Or pretty much identical. I think the OST for this is on Spotify. And it's probably going to be, like, once I'm done with the game, I'm going to be listening to it pretty often. I've been really struggling to pick what games to play lately. It's hard to commit in the long term. Like, I try to have a stream schedule, but, like, it can be difficult just because there's so many games to choose from, and I gotta be in the right mood for so many of them. And there's a lot right now that aren't, like, they aren't short-term commitments and repeatable stuff. For me, White, like, music is such an important thing for me that I'll get sucked in to like repeatedly listening to some OSTs. Just can't get enough. I've listened to the Zero Ranger OST so often, and I still haven't gotten... There's a particular area in Zero Ranger where they really sell the moment so well, and the game just explodes at like a roller coaster. And the game is already a roller coaster as it is. But they hit that moment where they crank it up to 11 and it just gets nuts. And even after listening to the OST as much as I have, I need to reveal this extra section of the map. I can't let it go. Here we go, okay. Even as much as I listen to the OST, every time I see a new player on Twitch get to that section of the game and it explodes and the music gets crazy, it's just, it never gets old. It is too good. Can you backdash on me? Yes, you can. Yeah, I think many people. I don't think it's uncommon at all for people to hit that point in a game and just be overwhelmed with how good it is. What is this? Ice orb. Wait. Probably platforms though, right? No? I wonder what these are used for. You never fail to figure your emotions well watching people play the ending to Hellblade. I still need to play that. See, there's so many games on my to-do list that I just have not gotten around to yet. Kuse's theme still feels epic even after we've heard it and fought him 3 times. Even after we've like completely raffle-stomped him, it's still an amazing theme. I hope there's another big boss with music that good. Yeah, he would feel like Mr. Shakedown, but the music is so legit. It's weird. Is it like a threshold I haven't passed before? I don't think I'll be able to play Red Strings Club. I think the gameplay is probably not going to appeal to me well enough. Plus I like half watched it, not really paying attention. Where are we going next? I got super lost. Video Game Plus, you found yourself drawing out fights. Freaking Okami has that problem. Okami PC needs a hard mode, and all they need to do is increase enemy damage a tiny bit, and like quadruple the HP of anything, especially the bosses. Mostly the bosses, really. Because Okami is way too easy for how good the music is. You could finish a boss fight in 30 seconds, but they have great music tracks that are like 4 or 5 minutes long. Or at least 3 or 4. You know, it's frustrating that it's not... Even with the weakest weapons, you have to sit and wait to let the music play. And I've listened to it, I've listened to the music for Okami over and over and over again. But I want to hear it alongside a thrilling, difficult, satisfying gameplay experience, you know? Like, give me that combination that I want so much. More beads. I still haven't upgraded anything. Yeah, I can understand that, White. And there's plenty of games that I'll play. Pendulum. A chunk of amethyst suspended on a golden chain prevents poison. Kinda looks like a rose. Yeah, I do hope you had a Wii forever and you were too young to get very far. The other thing about the Wii version, which was frustrating, is that their motion controls didn't complement the gameplay at all. In fact, it made it worse. It made some of the charge attacks effectively impossible to do. Yeah, White, I wouldn't, like, dare scold anybody for not being able to afford a game when right now, like, people can't afford to have, you know, food, shelter, and healthcare, you know? Yeah, people have to pick the one game that's not only going to be the most satisfying to them, as best as they can judge, but also that will, you know, give them the best bang for their buck. If you wonder why free-to-play games, roguelites, extremely long games are doing better, multiplayer games are doing better than the shorter single-player games without any replay value. Like, that's why. Games are too expensive. Come on. This way, damn you. There we go. Peace treaty. Emperor Volturilius. Or Terrorless. And it's funny, I've been reading this name over and over again, and I can't process it. I send this missive with Queen Philia, rightful ruler of independent Lakim, to augment her entreaty for peace. I offer to come in her stead, given our history together, but she believed it important to represent her world herself. I hope you recognize the honor in that. We have taken control of the portal between our worlds. As you have seen, we have strength. We have allies. We have learned to survive on this world. We will not fall even to the bleakness. If this conflict continues, thousands more will die, and you will be no closer to subduing us. We entreat you. Let us end this now. We are willing to negotiate. We are still willing to negotiate an arrangement like I suggested those years ago. Some of the vast resources of Lakim for plasma from Velite. A mutually beneficial arrangement. Please listen to Philia. She is wise and she wants only peace. Don't make the same mistake as before. Princess Elena of Lakim. Yeah, I mean, that's just, you know, I think a lot of people are doing the same thing. I think a lot of people are basically trying to push games as far as they can, get as much as they can get out of them. Because that's all they get for a long time. If you wonder why people, you know, when I was younger, and it was really just about that I wasn't an adult at that point, and I couldn't, you know, I didn't have a job or anything. You know, the reason why kids back in my day would play these same, you know, you played Ninja Gaiden on the NES for hundreds upon hundreds of hours, because that was all you were going to get, and your rentals would be short, you know, few and far between, so the game that you did get on your birthday or Christmas or whatever, it had to last. That's also why I'm so good at shmups, because one of the games that I got when I was younger was Gradius 3. And I played that game until I could play it the entire way through without dying. Same went for Super C and everything else. And Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. Back in the day, I could beat that I could practically beat that blind single-handedly. Or DuckTales or whatever. DuckTales I could do as well. Nowadays, probably not. Go the entire way through without dying, one shot, one sitting. Ends, get the secret ending where you beat Duckula. Which I think is just mostly, I think you get all of some relics or some amount of money, and then you just gotta race them. You're so extremely thankful that Humble Monthly exists, but it also means there's not much budget for anything else. Yeah, if you wonder why giant Steam sales are so popular, you know, if people really wanted some of those games immediately and they had the money, they would just get them. They wouldn't care about the sales if there was that much need for them. And they're still selling that way to some degree. People are buying their couple games that they really, really care about immediately rather than waiting for a sale a year or two later. But enormous amounts of people aren't going to bother with certain games if they can't get them for like $5, because it's like, then they don't have to think about, you know, purchasing games or food and rent. I like that this is the discussion for the entire stream. And like White was about to leave, I think, or you would hop down out for a bit, and then came back as I was like trying to. As much as I hate to phrase it this way, I was pretty much chastising you for the thought, even though you didn't even really mean it that way, the thought that anybody was going to sit there and say, like, all game devs are all about is greed and nothing else. I think I tend to rush to combat that thought way too quickly. Because I hate how shallow the perspective, not necessarily from you, but from the average gamer who speaks about that sort of thing, is just not willing to expand their thought for far enough to really understand what's going on. It's be interesting when this goes up on YouTube. People on YouTube are like, hey, I wanted to watch a Let's Play of this game, and they're just talking over it the entire time. I don't go to YouTube to watch people talk over stuff. That's what Twitch is for. I'd imagine there's like, I wouldn't be surprised if like World of Long Plays or one of those types of sites has already covered this game. I think I need to go to the future. Well, I definitely need to see what damage I've done already. People see these complex systemic issues and can't read the absolute dissertations and between the lines, yeah. I think we've hit a point where the world is too big and too complex for the average person to really digest. And it's not even because the world is too big or complex, but like the complexity of the world versus the relative education of the average person are not on par. I'm gonna go as far up as I can go, and to see if anything's different there, and if not, then we'll go back to the future. Well, I mean, I can understand that, White, though, because we've hit a point... Ah, this is a dead end. We've hit a point now where people are too busy and too poorly educated to have the time, energy, or capability of thinking for themselves, so it makes sense. That's kind of the way how, you know, we're going to go to the future now. That's kind of the way how, if you ever want to get, if you ever want to get people too busy to do things like vote in their best interest, keep them too busy, keep them too poor, and don't educate them well enough. This is endgame. This is actually where, this is literally where we're gonna go commit our assassination. Although I don't think it'll be that simple. Jeez. I should really use those time powers that I've got. Hey, Drill. Yeah, and well, initially I thought the internet, like, my perspective has changed the more I've thought about it and the more I've discussed it with where I think the internet plays... I think the internet is a tool that is reflective of the current state of society, and right now it's just the reason why the internet looks so nasty, and why it looks like it does nothing besides brew toxicity, is because we have a society that is basically using this tool. And that's you know, it's become a reflection of where we currently are with our society, and it's a nasty place. Wow. So not only is it sort of bird ship, this kind of reminds me of the end of an NES game called there was a game called Zexys, XEXYZ, where you have a Galaga style fight against something that looks like that. Ooh, military armor. How good is this? Better for defense and fortitude, but worse for everything else. Yeah, wait. I don't think I would be inclined to not want to distill it down to something so simple, but in terms of the statement, so Chaos Horn. A jagged horn torn from an otherworldly beast. More defense and more fortitude, which I don't really want. Actually, wait a second. I am losing other stuff from that, right? I'm getting a tiny bit of will, or no. I'm getting nothing I want. I'm only just losing luck. This is still technically better, but I don't really need defense, and I don't know about fortitude either. But what I'm trying to say is basically that, like... And that's true. I can understand that, but I would rather want to say something to the effect of, like... It's more a reflection of the poor state of our society, rather than doing nothing other than creating that scenario in the first place. Because I think, like, in good hands, you know, better educated people with a more functional society, the internet would be a significant amplifier of the good that we can do. Gas mask allows the wearer to breathe in polluted or low oxygen environments. We haven't even hit that yet. I don't think. So I think what you could say, and what would be the most accurate thing to say, is that with where we're at right now, it's way... The internet, as it stands in our current society, is a tool that allows the amplification of a lot of negative behavior. But I'd hate to consider it, you know, the root of all evil or something, because it's not as simple as that. Oh, okay. Hey, it's a B-door. Let's see what's in here. Plasma IV bag. Medical bag used for emergency synthetic plasma infusions. Interesting. This is going to come in handy. Maybe. I wouldn't be surprised if that's needed to drive an ending or something. Oh, you know what? Maybe that might be something I can use to, that one dude who was trying to heal the soldier or whatever? Perfect. Maybe, maybe he can put that to use. You don't think the internet is the problem? You think capitalism needs to commodify everything, including our social lives? think I probably don't know enough to know exactly what part of our society and how our economic structure is, like, what the most directly evil, non-functional parts are going to be. So I don't think I could put forth such a definitive statement on that, but like where we're at and how everybody's suffering right now isn't working, and I think a lot of what we're doing with a lot of what we're doing right now is horrendously non-functional, and that's probably the best I could say without spending more time thinking about it. Do you think it'll work? We're talking about time travel here. Of course it will work. Genza seems so sure. So sure he sent one of his volunteers through. And did we ever hear from them again? Well, he thinks it's almost done now. Let's just hope we're not the next volunteers. Those guys look like the dudes from Iconoclasts. I want to know what this is all about. This is creeping me out. White, I think we've hit a point where I probably can't go into any more detail and have a coherent conversation anymore. Like, I think we've probably exhausted my ability to speak at length about it. Especially since we're kind of looping back on the same thing, and I can't really offer anything new to it. But no, overall, yeah, our economic structure sucks. People are suffering. The wrong people are benefiting from it. And it's going to come to a head at some point. Food synthesizer. Wait, what else is that? Is that a relic? I should have pressed start right away. Crap. Equipment? A relic? Oh my god, somebody clip that so I can see what I just grabbed. Was it a grayed out? Oh, a portable machine that creates food from raw materials. We're collecting, I think we're collecting stuff to bring back. Aha. I knew it. Mind refresh. You've had one of these before. Well, what I'd imagine part of it as well is that I think you have a lot more available time than I would to sit there and study that. And I hate to... Oh, jeez. I don't mean to present that thought in such a negative way, but yeah. Oh, jeez. This is very Mega Man X. Oh, dude, these are parts of demons. Look, they're chopping up these demons. But I hope you understand that I mean that in a nice way, rather than saying, "Ah, you're not doing anything. You're just laying around and reading all day." Like, if I had the opportunity to read as much as you seem to have been reading, I would. I hate feeling like I'm busy all the time. Oh, wait. That's gonna lead to something. I can't. I don't have enough time power anyways. There's actually a few books that I kind of really need to read, even for work, that I just haven't had time to read yet. Rec Farewell. The Rec program, War Robots of Extinct Creatures. Oh my god. This is it. I called it. I knew there was something going on with, like, bio-machines. Bioweapons. The Rec program, War Robots of Extinct Creatures, is finally being phased out. After its successful run of over 3 decades, including 1 transplanetary war, we've decided to discard all unused units. A part of me will miss Rec, as its usage of long-since dead animals as inspiration for each new model was always quite endearing to me. It was as if the designers were uttering a quiet apology for eradicating that animal's entire species, whether that extinction was intentional or not. Oh, dude, I digest way better through reading and doing. Like, wading through videos is so freaking rough for me. I'm too impatient for that, because it's like, man, if you can crank it up 100 times faster, I can digest so much more. Nevertheless, the new technology that we are receiving from a mysterious ally is undoubtedly far superior to any unit from the Rec program, be it in speed or cost, to simple lethality. Oh my god, so we're doing literally what... I know what's happening. I have an idea, and don't confirm. I feel like our final boss is actually going to be a Timespinner from the other side. I think this is going to be an opposing Timespinner who's going even further forward in time to bring back technology to prevent what I'm about to go do, which is put an end to Lakeem. Oh my god! I mean, it's a time thing. I wouldn't be surprised. Despite these new and exciting advances in science, a part of me will always miss the quaint little creatures from the Rec line. If the final boss isn't a Timespinner who is Lakeem, basically like instead of Wendarian Lakeem, maybe Lakeem Wendarian or something, I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case. Really? Yeah, okay. These freaky monsters. For you, reading would be faster, or did you read anything complex like 10 times? Yeah, for me, it's just I don't have the attention span. Like, if somebody is going over something on video, it's like, I don't absorb it because I'm so freaking bored that I don't pay attention. A giant rat that transforms more and more difficult depending on how many rats you kill throughout the game. That kind of sounds like something that I thought would have been in Enter the Gungeon for the longest time, and now I think there actually is a resourceful rat boss in Enter the Gungeon. I think. Oh god, I needed that. I really needed that. Now I've totally missed my opportunity to go to the left. You could frame context of the movie, show practical example. Yeah, you've already passed my realm of knowledge there. I haven't spent a lot of time reading a lot of philosophy, which is probably to my detriment. The new line of biotechnology war machines is proving to be quite effective. I would have never imagined juxtaposing simple metallic automata with literal biological organs. Surprised by the practicality of using enormous organic eyes as an ocular source for robots, enhanced as they are. Of course, an intentional side effect of the design is that they are so unsettling. Hey, Cabby. The individual who spearheaded this new technology, Amadeus, is somewhat of an enigma to me. He claims to be from Surfland, but I find that claim preposterous, considering the primitive level of scientific advancement of that planet. My skepticism is not shared with the new Emperor, however. At least he doesn't seem to care. Perhaps I will attempt to reverse engineer Amadeus's biotech creations. it may be that I will find my answers there. Huh. So, Amadeus could... if it's... I'd imagine it's gotta be something like that. Maybe Amadeus is a time spinner, and that would explain... they actually are from a particular place. But way in the future. Yeah, Cabby, I heard it was pretty amazing. I do plan at some point to play this game, but I just don't know when. It's tough. Just can't seem to find... Like, I have too many games that are high priority for me. Games that I've already set on. It's the gold standard? That is a hell of a statement. Can't get any higher than that. Yeah, I think Marcus was doing SMT4 until it's released. Somebody was doing. Everybody was basically doing their, like, I'm playing this until Resident Evil comes out. I'm trying to catch a piece in midair, but I'm just not getting it. Here we go. Got it. Perfect. What is this? Eye orb. A fleshy oculus that slices unwitting foes. Ooh. Oh. Wonder if I need the eye for this. I wonder... Ooh, also scary. These are some creepy orbs. Resident Evil doesn't interest you a whole lot. You like 7 and 4. I hear the remake of 2 is similar to 4. Did that this morning, and then 2 in the evening, was sick, and his voice is going, We got time travel, magic, demons, interplanetary travel, robotics, bioengineering. Yep. Everything all in one place. Similar mechanic, not in the concept. Maybe in concept, but not in execution. I thought it was similar mechanically, and that was part of why people were liking it. No, I guess not. 4 is an absurd amount of death. I did like a chunk of what 4 did. No A gates yet. I didn't actually finish 4 though. My dad beat 4 sooner than I did. Oh, everything. Oh god. All right. We've let everything out. Whoops. Except for that one. Whoa. Hello. Experiment number 11. Oh, they have chaos. Let's see. The Maw. A demonic construct formed over a portal that has only one purpose: total destruction. Queen of the Leukemia people uses plasma orbs with her aura abilities. This is the one I fought really early. Cat-like robot, formerly the apex of the Leukemia war tech. The result of a clearly unethical procedure. Well, I don't think... I don't necessarily think that case is super rare. I mean, you know, Into the Breach, you know, you have very limited movement and actions per character. Or maybe a better example might be the entire Ghosts and Goblins-esque genre is similar. Amadeus's library. Oh, the map. I thought that was gonna be more stuff to read. I think it's not like the complete opposite tends to be stuff like in shooters. It's very rare that heavily restricting movement results. Yeah, in shooters, I can't think of any really great examples. Usually, the expectation is that you give the player as much agency as you can, and you know, when it comes down to minimizing restrictions, you could look towards stuff like Nier Automata, where one of the design goals was to let players cancel like everything and anything. Origins. There is a strong psychic aura possessed by the biotech monstrosities Amadeus has helped us design. I now know why. Between my reverse engineering and some further research into history of all things, I can only conclude that Amadeus is a psychic being himself, a demon, to use the crude parlance. There is no doubt that his techniques will be a benefit to Lakeem. They've already proven deadly, but there's a reason for the fear their designs engender. He and his kin, for I believe there are more of them, feed on the hatred, disgust, and chaos that follows them. It aids Lakeem for now, but continued reliance on them will not do. Lakeem is built on order, on control. We cannot have such chaos following us everywhere. I must find a way to rid us of these so-called allies. That's gonna go extremely well. Oh, another good example is Darkwood. Darkwood not only gives you, provides you a frustrating amount of limit to your movement, but also your view as well. And but that also like isn't a shooter in that case, so I guess it doesn't count. Darkwood's a really good example, though. Just overall of making, you know, of what limits on the player's agency you can introduce that then enrich the game. I don't remember there being a boss here. Hold on. Let me double save real quick. Alright, well, what monstrosity has Amadeus left for us? Oh, jeez, alright. Well, that was quick. Just a mini-boss. Teleria attachment. Harnesses telekinesis to glide across the ground. Hold R1 to dash. Oh, that's freaking ridiculous. This is very similar to something that you get in, I mean, this is almost identical, even down to destroying the lights. This is the Black Panther soul in, crap, what was it? Dawn of Sorrow. Probably should be a little more careful with that. You tend to go in for movement shooters with high skill gaps, your Quakes and your Titanfalls. I'm not... The funny thing is I grew up on shooters, but I'm not so into them anymore. I think I could see myself playing more Overwatch here and there, but it would have to be like a filler game for when I don't have a lot to do. Can't quite make it yet. Come back later. You didn't grow up on them? Yeah, well for me, yeah, I'm sort of... I've had my fill to an extreme. Playing Duke Nukem when you were 10? I was playing... So Duke Nukem 3D wasn't really much of a thing for me. Here we go. I played the original Duke Nukems. And hey Rio, I did play Duke Nukem 3D eventually. What is this? Looks like it's full of old historical documents about the War of the Sisters. Nothing seems that useful though. What? But it's... What? There could be anything. Well, whatever. It's knowledge. It's being given freely. Oh, wait. There's a grip here. There was a prompt? Yeah, there was a prompt. But I think a lot of people don't seem to remember that Duke Nukem did not start as a first-person shooter. Duke Nukem started as like 4 different platformers, 2D platformers. And Duke Nukem wasn't about to tear off your head and shit down your neck. He was going to collect a lot of key cards and not do much else. Figured that was too suspicious. Hexen does. So does Heretic and Hexen 2 and I don't think I've played enough Doom or Doom 2 to feel like one of the other's levels were really that bad. I know I've played hundreds of hours of both, but I guess I wasn't so judgmental back then. I played them because I liked them and I didn't know any better, and I had fun. Not because I wanted to write a thesis on which one was better. Ooh, are you Amadeus? No, you're Genza. Ah, you must be Luneus, yes? Welcome to my laboratory. And you must be Genza, the one behind Lakim's sick experiments. My reputation precedes me. Alright, Kalian. Have a good one. I am the man behind all that Lakim has accomplished. I'm fairly sure Queen Elena gets some of the credit. Ha! Weakling and a coward. Going back on her loyalties. On her deals. Trying to rid us of the demons she summoned. Unsuccessfully, I might add. What do you mean? Oh, you poor naive girl. They never went away. Not really. They've ensured Lakim's rise in power, even as they ferment chaos in our realm. And I won't have that. Order must be absolute. Science will replace their obsolete powers, and then Lakim will finally be free, in a way Elena could never accomplish. But that's neither here nor there. You're the Time Messenger from that backwards Wendaria. It's a pleasure to meet you. Like what I've done with the place? Is this... Wait a second. I finally got it working, no thanks to you. And I'll be tying it into an experimental portal we've constructed. one that could teleport us anywhere. With the two combined, we'll be unstoppable. The way forward was a tiny alleyway hidden in a giant cityscape. Somebody was waystoned. Second half of the game's map development. White, I heard about that. I didn't really follow it super well. Oh, sorry, Campy. I don't know if it was me. It definitely didn't come up over the mixer. And I haven't peaked too much. I don't think. I hope not. And I haven't dropped any frames in 2.5 hours. I've been really good about not dropping frames. I think my connection is somewhat stabilized. But yeah, White, I didn't catch it, but I hear it was pretty crazy. People have been telling me here and there about how it went down. With the two combined, we'll be unstoppable. You can't use that. You haven't been trained. Ha! I trained all my life. The sacrifice you've been making, do you know how it works? How it erases you from history? A pity, yes. But a small price to pay. I've already sacrificed my humanity to make Lakeem strong. Let my morals slip for the good of the nation. Good? Hardly. What do you know of good and sacrifice anyway? You've never seen true power. Not like you could achieve. I've sacrificed everything to come here, to stop Nuvius. Ah, of course, your mother. What? Oh, Linnaeus. Have you missed me? What trick is this? No trick, I love you. But you left me. What? Abandoned me to Nuvius, to death. My own daughter, after all I'd sacrificed. Oh, that's not... You failed me. Oh, that's the grin. No, that's not you. Genza. We're gonna have to kill... Oh, we're gonna have to kill her. Or... Whoa. This is like Genza's lost humanity there. Oh, I've got really strong magic now. You are strong, and you're a bastard. Says the girl with no father. Ah, but that's not true, is it? What do you mean? You must know we never cured the bleakness. Even once we were conquered Velete and gained access to their plasma, we would never be the same. A longing in our people, leading us to explore the stars. Quick to anger, quick to melancholy. These are the legacies of that sickness. And the leukemia, blue hair, of course. Sound familiar? You must realize by now. Wow, you're the only person... It's been so long. Someone was trying to get the bunny removed. He... played it for 57 hours. I did hear he played for like over 50 hours with like minimal breaks. Not a big names, the industry showed up. I hear, yeah. And that the 64 was the best console. Pundit, yeah. 2 6-hour naps. Yeah, that takes some work. I struggled to function for 15 hours straight. I'm getting better, though. I've been sleeping a lot better lately. All it took was just cutting up my nose and throat. Ha! The same man you want dead, our glorious Emperor Nuvius, is your father. Oh, I didn't know it was like that. I should have seen that coming. I suppose that makes sense. What? After all this, you're finally coming around to, like, realizing this is... Huh. I don't care. I have no love for him. He attacked my clan. He killed my mother. He will die. Very well. Just do me one favor. Why would I? Don't let my work have gone to waste. When you take the throne as the rightful heir, rid us of the demons once and for all. They put a skeleton in his chair and had people in the voice chat trying to carry the stream to his praise. Then the audio fucked up. It was just a donation text-to-speech. Oh, wow. Keycard A. Gonza's personal keycard, which allows access to A-level classified areas. Highest security access. The doors I could open with this. Time to end this. I'm glad, even though somebody was trying to basically mess it all up, I'm glad it turned out to be a positive experience. I don't think I have the time. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I had the time or wherewithal to watch it, that whole thing. But at least I get to catch up on it. Galactic Sage. What kind of galaxies are you doing? Please push you off? Yeah. I think I've seen some of H-Bomber Guy's stuff. Pretty sure. I tend to, I'm pretty sure they have some, they've done some, like, critic review analysis type of stuff, right? Because I think I tend to stray away from that stuff if they tends to be more the critic side, because I've seen a lot of stuff said that has been wrong or rude or both. Like, I think Jimquisition kind of soured my position on a lot of that sort of stuff. Soured my interest in watching some of it. Come on, a little further up than that. Oh, I just can't make it yet. Anyone where he defends Dark Souls 2? I can only imagine I've seen that. I mean, Dark Souls 2 does deserve a lot of the hate that it gets. It is not like an atrocious garbage game or whatever. Like, it's... Dark Souls 2's situation is way more complex than people realize and give it credit for. I mean, all it really does is go to show that people really don't understand how games are made. And they're very quick to be... Even the people who are like professional critics and stuff don't really have any clue of how any of this stuff goes down at all. And it's frustrating because people go in and get people all angry and just demonize the game industry. And first off, they're still humans working on this stuff one way or another. But even the seemingly worst parts of the industry are not nearly what people think that they are. What up, man? Ah, you suck so much. You know what? We'll just come back later. We'll instead of trying to mess around with that. Yeah, I did. So I guess I must be subscribed to H-Bomber Guy, because I think I've seen the mention of the Flat Earth stuff, and I tend to stray away from that kind of controversial stuff. Mostly because, like, first off is, like, the whole concept of assuming that the Earth is flat or whatever, like, it's just, you know, it's so ridiculous. But the people who have those viewpoints, like, there's not really going to be a head-on, like, elucidation of that perspective. You know, there's no way to really correct that just by being upset about it and confronting it like that. I think some people are probably effectively lost, and that just, you know, those people are never going to come around. Well, I know it's wrong, but I mean, the fact that people are going to sit there and debate and make it a subject of argument, and then use that argument as reasons to hate each other. Like, there's nothing to be accomplished by sitting there and trying to educate people who don't understand and can't remotely process that they're wrong. Where's the, here we go. Oh, this is gonna be like Medusa heads all over again, isn't it? But all I'm saying is that it's not worth the effort to sit there and like go, oh, these people are wrong and why are they wrong and all this other stuff. It's like, I feel like the only real way to eliminate that sort of stuff, to get people to stop having that incredibly ridiculous perspective that has no grounding in reality, is you need like a ground up education, get people thinking for themselves, give people the tools they need to understand, to better think for themselves and to better process, like, you know, what's reasonable and logical, and you know, most people who argue against flat earth acknowledge that leveling with them is stupid, mostly do it for entertainment purposes. But yeah, but it's like, I'm not even into that level of confrontation to deal with that. Empress cake. A decadent slice of layered chocolate cake, made famous by a powerful queen. Let them eat cake. But yeah, I'm so anti-confrontation that I just tend to not want to, like, it's purposeless. All it does is make people upset and make, you know, build new enemies. You know, from my perspective, it's more like, I want a better ground-up solution to that sort of stuff, and it's gonna be long-term, and it's you know, it's not gonna be a quick fight kind of thing. Unless that dude comes up. Here we go. Ah, you piece of garbage. Damn it. Alright, screw it. And really, like, stuff like belief in a flat earth, I don't know if there's any way to really solve that without creating a better education system to get people to have a much more thorough and logical understanding of how the world works, as well as the ability to think and process information, you know, in a more intelligent way than just assuming stupid stuff is the truth. Variable position, though, people's ideas, variable threat and resistance. No, yeah, I understand that for sure. Yeah. The simple, like, fact that I don't really have to fight for it. Hey, Kunzer. And yeah, I'd rather just accept that as a personal flaw. Wow, really? You don't fully heal on one save? Damn, I got a lot of HP. You know, the thing about that, which is interesting, White, is that basically, I feel like people who are barely able to stay afloat or are reasonably comfortable but if they started pushing, they'd be making sacrifices that kind of just, you know, that takes out the ground from under them. You know, when you don't have the time or energy to deal with it because you're at a point where you're comfortable, you know, and you don't have an excess of time or energy or money or whatever. You're just there. You know, you've hit a point where you can be all right. Like, it's very easy to justify not wanting to throw that away in order to go stick your neck out for either people or a particular cause. And I think, honestly, like, that's another problem with their society. Like, even the people who are doing okay just do not want to take any risks. Right, this is it. I don't think this is it. There's a lot more map to explore. Time to meet my father and end this. If only it were that simple. What about Amadeus? It's not gonna be this complex. Or this simple, rather. It's gonna be more complex than that. Linnaeus, I've been waiting for you. Nuvius? That's Emperor Nuvius. Or father, if you prefer. Never. Not after what you did. To your mother? Whatever. She spurned me. I offered her everything. I loved her, and she spurned me. It was unintentional, but she deserved death. You both got problems. How dare you? You invaded our world, colonized our people, and slaughtered my clan. All for what? Power? The Timespinner? We Lakimi have ever yearned for more, to explore the stars, to reach into the farthest reaches of the universe, to understand, to ascend. There must be sacrifice for such progress. Sacrifice is a choice. What you do is murder. A matter of perspective. But come, Linnaeus, you are here now, the very pinnacle of Lakim. You could join me, take what your mother refused. Not while you still breathe. Huh, you spurned me too? Your own father? You're no better than her. You don't deserve me. I don't care. Bring it, old man. Oh, I guess we both have similar powers. We're gonna have some sword powers soon, right? Oh, easy now. I don't have power for this. Wait, actually, we're fine. Plasma? Whoa! Hey now. I don't even know what the blue one is. Oh, I guess the blue is just the regular orbs that you would have normally. Oh, jeez. Okay, hey man. Okay, easy now. We're not gonna save all our Mega Elixirs here. These are things we don't even have. Yeah, I understand. Like, I definitely have to concede that I've not remotely, considering that I'm not in in remotely an uncomfortable position. I have not remotely done enough or even begun. It's over. No, it's not. Now what? Now Maya speaks up. I've been working to kill him for so long. I don't know what else there is. My clan is still gone. I am the rightful heir here, I suppose. But the least, and all the others. I could rule Lakeem now, try to make it better, maybe. Or return to Lakeem, then help them rebuild and change them once more. Oh, we have a oh my god, really? Wait, we have a choice? Rule as the Emperor, live your life in the past. Oh my god. Don't make me choose! I think there's too much bad history right now for me to not just go back and try to make it better. Let's live in the past. Yes, with most of my clan gone, this would never be a home. I made more of a home back then with Nell. I'll help them build Lakeem, force the demons out, make this future a better place. I left Lakeem in chaos, rulerless. I don't know what will become of them. I never want to go back there. Living in the past, I know things will change here. Didn't get a chance to read it, damn it. Maybe I can make things better from the past, but this whole empire is tainted. I'm glad to be rid of it. My future is elsewhere. Do you think we'll see her again? I don't know. At least she did some good here. I'll miss her. Linnaeus? Linnaeus! You're back. Can't get rid of me that easily. Is everything done, taken care of? Why did you come back? It's not my home anymore. My home is here. I think I can do some good. Start building the site for the stranded Veletians. Aristel, I understand you have volunteered to lead the effort in rooting out what demons remain? Yes, Your Highness. I'm happy to lend my aid as well, Your Highness. I think Lakeem has the potential to be something great. Thank you. We will form a joint task force then. The first step towards reuniting our peoples. To all of you, I know this has been a rough few years. I never anticipated this War of the Sisters, as it's being called. I never wanted it. But it's over now. It's time to build a strong nation, and a peaceful one. One day, we may reunite with our sister world. I want that to be a good day. We'll make history. It won't be easy. I sought revenge for so long. I don't know what else there is. But there's work to do here, and friends, a new life to live. My hope is to build something better. Every step I've taken has been to create a better Lakeem. I feel like there's too much untouched, though. I have only one thing else to see to, one last time to use the Timespinner. There's so much unfinished business here. Linnaeus, you're alive. Wait, what? I am. I'm sorry I could not succeed and save everyone. The Timespinner broke. But I got revenge. I killed Emperor Nuvius. So you've come back to us. I can't stay. After what I've been through, this isn't my time anymore. I think I belong somewhere else. Lakeem is in chaos now. You, my clan, my family can live in peace. The Timespinner may have broken, but I hope you won't ever need it again. I only wish I could have killed him sooner, before he came. I just came back to say goodbye, and to pay my respects. Thank you, Mother. I will miss you, always. Hey, you need to grow up and stop being an ass. There won't be any more time messengers, but the clan will still need people like us. And it isn't about being a hero so everyone respects and likes you. It's about giving up everything you have so those you care about can have it better. It's okay, though. I didn't understand that at first, either. You can be that for them. I hope you will do well by us. Good luck. Wow, they had so they had full on. They had people playing live instruments. With these indie games, you know how you tend to have like a... So you have like a... You know... You've got that ending track, and the credits are rolling, but it's a smaller game, so there's only a couple people even really working on it, you know? And it's just interesting to see, like... So I've worked on games with, you know, 50, 100, 300, you know, plus people, and then you like, so I work in interface design, so I look at stuff like the credit screen and I go, oh man, there's so much spacing between each of the elements, because they somewhat have to stretch it out. And I think I'm pretty sure this game was kickstarted, and I think to some degree they're going to benefit from listing all everybody, literally, like the testers, the Kickstarter backers, everything. Otherwise they won't be able to fill out the music. One of the games that I worked on has a 20+ minute credit roll, and you could speed it up, but if you just let it go, it just keeps going and going. I think at one point, so here's where they have all the backers listed, and we're still in the A's, and there's like more than 100 people already, in a small ass font just to fit them all. In fact, I think we went out to go pick up food from a food truck, which normally takes way too long anyways, and then came back, and the credits were still rolling. Or either that, or we went out to go get lunch somewhere and came back or something. Like, to bring it back. That was how long our credits was. Because we were just evaluating, like, we were testing it for whatever reason. Like, the amount of backers they have is the amount of people who would be working on some of these games. Well, a few hundred, not like the many thousands that are probably here. We're still in the B's. But yeah, White, I wish my contribution to that, both the conversation and making the world a better place, wasn't so terrible and shallow. So I can only apologize for being such a downer. I think Hellblade also used live instruments and singing, had a fairly large budget for an indie game. Yeah. Speaking of live instrument related stuff in music OSTs, so apparently the Chrono Cross track was not designed, wasn't played physically or whatever, but the musician behind Chrono Cross still put the effort into implementing the sound as basically a person was playing the string instruments and moving their fingers across the strings, that particular sound. They explicitly put the effort into including that to make it that much more authentic. And I thought that was a nice touch, even though it wasn't played by human hands to any real degree. Probably should pay a little more attention to the credits, because usually I'll see one or two people that I know. I mean, you know, for example, Banon Rudis was in The Mummy Demastered. So was Thomas, the guy who did some of my emotes. I'm in the credits for Salt and Sanctuary. I don't feel like I contributed enough, but I was there. It's cool to be, like, to have just a little mention of, you know, somewhere, if either you or friends or whatever. I wish I had, speaking of the emotes, I wish I had more, I wish I had more ideas floating around in my head for that sort of stuff, because I totally am fine with commissioning, like, another, you know, as many emotes as we can fit, and then some. And then the sub badges, which I want to get better ones. But I'm not there yet. Haven't quite figured it out. I wanted to say that I'm not creative enough, but I feel like if I rang myself out enough, I'd probably get something. It's just like getting blood from stone. I mean, I did eventually get the logo sorted, so that's something. And the overlays are looking good. But that was literally pulling teeth. You know? White, I've been struggling with scheduling and keeping on time. Especially because work is so, like, I can't guarantee I'll be done with work at a specific time. And there are some things that I just can't put down, and some stuff that doesn't, you know, even, I could put tons of effort, and I could work so many extra hours in the days when I'm not streaming, and then suddenly something shows up that I have to deal with that will take me, like, way longer than I expect, but need to be done the same day. You know, that's just the nature, like, that's kind of one of the downsides of, even for everything that could be good about working in the game industry, big or small, games are not the game industry overall is not a mature industry. We're not where movies are, we're not where music or TV would be. We're not even close. Nobody really has a great understanding of how long it takes to make anything. We don't have the right terminology and the right technology and techniques for everything. The art process, accessibility features, whatever. Nobody has, like, our audience has no understanding of what we do at all, and no appreciation for how much work goes into it. You know, there's no, we're prehistoric right now, and we have not even remotely hit a civilized era. And, you know, as a result, the amount of time it takes to get anything done, and to you know, the amount of effort and the amount of additional time here and there that we need in order to meet a deadline is crazy. But it's understandable for now.